A lot to get to today. Like it's a busy day on the program. Spike's going to join us a little bit later. The Phillies started over the weekend. Haason Reddick was traded. Joel Embiid. We're on Bryce Harper lineup watch. So much to get into. But first, real quick, before we get to the Haason Reddick thing, what was your big takeaway from opening weekend for the Phils?
Simply put, Braves are pretty good.
Braves are a pretty good baseball team.
Yeah, Braves are a pretty good baseball team. We weren't necessarily ready to go to match their level. Seems like the Braves came in wanting to win this series.
Send a little message.
Yeah. I mean, listen, being eliminated back-to-back years and facing that team to open your season will cause a team to sort of heighten their sort of awareness and make sure they're locked in and ready to go. Didn't seem like the Phillies were certainly at the same level of the Braves, but I'm not totally discouraged. I'm not totally discouraged. Certainly would have liked to seen the bullpen pitch a little bit better, particularly on Friday. Would have loved to have seen a better outing from Aaron Nola.
Oh yeah.
Saturday, I thought Ranger, he got tatted early in the game. Albies got him, but he settled down after that.
I still don't know how that ball went out. I thought it was a long fly ball at the bat. And then JT's got knocked down. I was like, oh, here we go. They're going to get swept.
So, and you're right. When they went down 2-0, I'm like, here we go. We start the season off with a sweep like we did last year, but down in Texas. They fought back yesterday. Couple of clutch hits late in the game. Obviously a great review of the play at first base with Rojas, but, you still needed big hits from Trey Turner in that inning. You still needed key at-bats from guys, and then Alec Boehm came up with the big hit to give them the 2-run lead, and obviously they needed that as the Braves just wouldn't go away, and they got the win. They got the win, and you needed a win on Easter to at least give everybody something to feel good about coming out of the holiday weekend.
Well, and thank God they did, because I could just feel today coming. I could feel the phones lighting up. I could feel O.G. Wade. I could just have this sense of, you're fraud baseball.
Yeah, your team, Jack.
What do you guys say now? Well, here's what I got to say now, is I'm disappointed in the Phillies. And we'll get to the Reddick trade in 1 second, but overall, it's a disappointing weekend. I know we don't want to do it's too early. That is measuring stick. And it does disappoint me that the Braves showed up and wanted to kind of send a message, and the Phillies didn't look like they were ready for it.
Yeah.
And Sunday I'm glad they came back and won. I'm glad they got one. But if Rojas is a millisecond slower, he's out, and that inning's over. Duvall, if he's an inch closer, catches that ball. So, yeah, they came back and won. But, man, the offense was 3 runs on Friday, 4 runs on Saturday, 5 yesterday, 29 strikeouts on the weekend. Looked a lot like last year to kind of close out the season. And unfortunately for the Phillies, what we're doing is we're evaluating every game as to, is this good enough in October? And with the way Nola pitched, with the offense kind of being I'm not too worried about the bullpen because their 2 best arms went on Friday and didn't pitch well and showed up yesterday and shut a ball game down. But I'm disappointed. The whole sitting of Marsh and Stott, like I can't believe we're doing that this early in the season. How about I can figure out if Marsh can't hit lefties rather than you telling me he can't hit lefties?
Right.
Like the guy's obviously better than Christian Pache or Johan Rojas. Rojas starts 3 weekends, 3 games this weekend. Had Marsh not got a pinch hit appearance yesterday, would have played once. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hell, you didn't even mention Bryce sitting.
Oh yeah.
In that game yesterday, and when I saw the lineup yesterday, I was like, really, on Easter Sunday, this is what we're doing? You're just giving away a game.
Which you knew they were going to win, though.
Well, true to form, great tweet by you yesterday. You certainly pointed it out early. It was a lineup that would have everybody outraged at the beginning, and then they would go out and win the game. And that's exactly what happened. And so, my anger or my frustration was sort of watered down or tempered once you saw the game start to unfold. But you're going into that game, and I saw the lineup yesterday morning. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yep.
It's Easter Sunday and we're sitting people. Like, it's the 3rd game of the season. Like, what is going on right now?
I know Chris Sale's tough lefty. But,
yes.
Like, Bryson Stott, and not comparing the two. You didn't sit Utley. You didn't sit Utley against lefties. Utley played every day. Stott, I think, has earned that right.
And by the way, sitting Bryce versus Sale, I'm not buying because he was a lefty. You can tell me something else, but this is what I got at the beginning of the game. And no offense to those experts that were on at the beginning of the game, But I heard too much of, well, he is a side thrower, side winder. Yeah, that works for other guys. Okay, but not for Bryce Harper.
Schwarber was still leading off, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Schwarber was still. By the way,
when
he leaned up like that.
yeah. Hold on. Not to take a huge victory lap. Well, he stole a base.
He did.
He mixed in 2 singles.
Oh, get it in, big dog. Get it in.
He mixed in 2 singles.
Yeah,
He doesn't clog the bases.
Let him know.
He hit a ball 114 miles an hour. Where are we at? The Schwarber haters. Where are we at? He said, now, we don't want to start too hot because we want to make sure that June Schwarber still exists. But a good weekend for Kyle Schwarber. Maybe the star of the weekend outside. Dude, he was spry out there.
He was, man.
He's cooking.
Early in the season, he's trying to let everybody know.
He's cooking Hugh in a race. There's no doubt about it. And the Harper situation, I don't buy that was a scheduled day off.
Yeah,
I think
scheduled day off.
Have him off tonight. Have him off tonight against the Reds on a rainy Monday, not the opening weekend against the Braves on Easter. Yeah, I think he woke up sore from falling over the railing on Saturday.
Man.
And I think they're being precautious. I don't buy the scheduled day off at all.
Dude, seriously.
My heart stopped.
Take it easy over there at first base, man. I mean, my goodness, man.
I saw the season was flashing.
Second game of the season, bro. Like
it was flashing before my eyes. The season was flashing before my eyes.
You cannot have this, man. Yeah, if this is how you're going to play first base, then no, I don't want you to play first base.
Get back to right field.
Yes, exactly.
Get back to right field.
My goodness.
So your takeaways on the Phillies, we are looking for Bryce Harper lineup watch.
Thank God we can kind of chuckle about that.
Well, hopefully.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it really did look bad. And then there was a time, and I know eventually they won that game yesterday, but you were wondering, okay, are we going to use Harper as a pinch hitter in this game somewhere?
Yeah, they did.
Didn't seem like they were interested in it either.
No.
That lets me know.
Now, I do believe that if Iglesias was in to close down the ninth, he would have been out there.
Okay.
Like I think they want to save him for later
because a righty.
Because they were getting to the point of the lineup where they might not have enough outfielders. Okay. Because they went Rojas Pache or Pache Rojas at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I think they were saving him for later, but and then more like break in the case of emergency.
Okay.
It kind of seemed like, but we are definitely on Harper lineup watch. See if he's in the lineup tonight. We should get a ball game in, and it's cleared up down here in downtown Philadelphia. So that's the Phillies, 215-592-9494. Ike, the other thing that happened this weekend, 3 days ago at this point, it was, I believe in the
Friday, in the middle of game one.
I believe it was in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
I believe it comes out. The Eagles have finally traded Haason Reddick to the Jets. What's your initial reaction to it?
I don't like the move. I really don't. I just don't see. I understand they got draft capital down the road. It just doesn't do anything for me for the 2024 season. And that's all I cared about as far as it pertained to Haason Reddick. He was under contract for another year, and he was at a salary that was manageable at nearly $15 million a year. It's a need. I think you've weakened your outside linebacker / pass rushing positions on this team. As I look at the roster right now, I'm looking at Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, and BG. That doesn't.
Where's the maxi drop?
That doesn't do a whole lot for me when I'm thinking about trying to win the Super Bowl and maximize this roster in 2025. You're not going to have some of these players along with Haason Reddick after this season. Darius Slay, Brandon Graham. Potentially Josh Sweat is gone, right? So you're going to be James Bradbury,
hopefully,
if not before this season. But these are players you aren't going to have moving forward. So I looked at the 2024 season from a defensive standpoint is plug some holes where you can. You got veterans on this team that you can sort of surround with talent, and you got enough offense that we can go out there and make a legitimate run at winning the Super Bowl. I'm not going to sit here and tell you losing Haason Reddick means we can't win the Super Bowl. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not pulling the fire alarm and saying the place is burning down. I just don't understand how this makes us a stronger defense. How are you better without Haason Reddick? You're going to tell me you're going to go draft somebody? Okay. Well, I hope that guy can play that we draft.
And the history of them in that spot or with their drafting edge rushers has not been great.
Right. So unless you're trading for somebody out there that I don't foresee right now, some disgruntled defensive end on another team, like where are you getting a player the caliber of Haason Reddick from.
Like, listen, if you can go get the Bosa guy out in the Chargers or Mack.
God bless you. I'll take him.
What about Khalil Mack?
I'll take him too.
Even
yes.
33.
Yes, I'll take him at 33.
Yeah.
Well, because here's the thing. Any of those guys come with a resume and credentials that are better than what we have on the roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it. And Haason Reddick, as a player at his position, not only does he help you at the getting after the quarterback, the most important thing on the defensive side of the ball. Am I right or wrong? Is that not the most important thing on the defensive side of the ball? Getting after the quarterback, takeaways, things of that nature?
You mean it matters more than how he maybe be against the run?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't care what he looks like against give me a running back. I don't even know whatever running back we may face. Don't care. I care as little about, or I care much less about that than I do him getting after the quarterbacks we're going to have to face. Because that also helps your pass coverage. We have older secondary players on the corners. You think getting after the quarterback would help James Bradbury and Darius Slay out there in coverage? I'm sure it would. When we think about Slay being all-pro in 2022, God, Bradbury being all-pro in 2022, it's because they had a great pass rush. Because they set a franchise record in getting after the quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were the third highest sack total in league history.
Yeah. 76?
70 plus, 73, 76, somewhere around there.
Right.
In sacks that year before.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that had to do with getting after the quarterback and the waves in which you came at offensive linemen and quarterbacks. Helped that secondary out an awful lot. Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith. I'm not even putting my guy BG in there.
No.
You're not going to sink BG with this ship.
Not at all.
No, BG's a legend. He's back here to do the Lord's work by being a good locker room guy and being a mentor to some of these guys.
For sure.
I'm not about to slander BG's name because the pass rush is going to be in peril this year.
Right, and it's putting Bryce Huff, by the way, better be able to play.
Every snap.
He was again. I was pro the signing. 10 sacks is 10 sacks.
Oh, we like the signing.
But my God, I thought it was with Reddick coming back.
Right.
Or if you're going to move on from one of them, move on from Josh Sweat. He had 4.5 sacks last year. What are they doing? It's so not. This is so not Eagles. They value that position. It's a position they value. And I just can't figure out why he's not here. 215-592-9494. And you said about the Super Bowl, when you sign Saquon Barkley, again, a running back for $13 million, you have the cap space to get it done. It does hamper my ability to see if this team is a Super Bowl contender. You could draft a guy, sure. He's gonna be a day one impact player at the edge rusher position. I mean, they haven't been able to do that in forever, it seems like. Even BG took a while to come along. Derek Barnett was all right his rookie year and then fell off a cliff. We know about Marcus Smith, Jerome McDougal. They've done this before. And when you get rid of a guy like Haason Reddick, I don't know what the plan is going forward. Bryce Huff better be a stud. Josh Smith better bounce back.
Well, it definitely puts more pressure on Smith, too. I mean, he's the first-round pick.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. He had 1 sack last year. And then it happened in the playoff game, which is fine. Maybe he's a clutch player. But he also tripped the guy in the playoff game rather than tackling him. And the other thing that sticks out is the Eagles season ended in embarrassing fashion. They lose to the Bucs, and it was a down period. Mm-hmm. And yes, they signed Saquon. Are the Eagles a better team right now than when the season ended?
Are they a better team?
You lose Kelsey, you lose Cox, you lose Reddick. And Devin White's a linebacker with a name.
Yeah.
And CJ back.
Yeah.
Also lost Devontae Maddox.
Yeah. I'm going to say on paper, yes.
But even if so, it's not
by a lot.
Not by a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's Saquon and Kelsey almost cancel each other out. You're losing an all-pro center for a running back.
Yeah, but I do like the Devin White signing and the CJ signing.
Sure.
So, I like the Bryce Huff signing, but I wanted it to be more of a depth guy, right? That's what I kind of envision, being able to come at offenses in waves with pass rush.
That's how they got there in 17,
Yeah.
and that's how they got there in 22. What are they going to be in 24? I don't get it.